good morning guys, it's Anthony here from Triple X RC Garage, back to you with another video. This morning is Thanksgiving, and slowly trying to get the family up, and I figured I'd come out here and tinker with my new toy. I did just receive this TRX4 from a buddy of mine. We traded. He actually bought this from somebody else, and they I guess got bored with it or whatever, I'm not sure. But anyway, I had a Rancho here. Rancho, if you guys don't know, is actually an SCX10 mixed with a Wraith. A Wraith is basically a tubular, like bomber style truck, crawler, racer. I think it's considered a rock racer. Anyway, it's got some big heavy duty axles, a little wider stance, a little longer stance. I think it's like around 13 or maybe a little bit more than 13 inches wheelbase. So what you do is you basically take the axles and transmissions into links, and you transfer it to an SCX10 chassis and a transmission plate. It all bolts on. You do have to add what's called Geo Plates on the side so you can put your links on it. Anyway, so here's a picture right here. And you just guys got to see it after it got redone. My buddy got the truck in, and he took redid the decals on it and stuff. And he loves it, and he's actually going to do it on a run. Well, the link to this, and it didn't mean to happen this way, but it did. The TRX4 that got in front of me was owned by a young man in Florida, and the guy that helped him do a lot of the work on this truck, like adding the front winch here, which is a big servo winch, and I'm assuming put the bumper and the lights in, passed away yesterday. And he, from what I understand, was a big contributor of the Tiny Truck Nation down there, of crawlers at Markham Park, and his name is Kevin Bell. And he did leave behind a wife and family. I'm not sure kid-wise. I'm assuming they might have been adults. But anyway, so I got this truck in, and so what I'm going to do, and at first I was thinking about removing that winch, but now that I know that Kevin did this, I'm going to leave it on there. More of a contribute to him. The other things they've done on this truck was they changed out the servo, the ESC, and the servo too. The ESC is basically a Hobby Wing 1080, which I love, so I figured, well, I haven't tried one yet on a Traxxas, so I think I'll leave that where it's at. They did keep the Titan motor, they did keep all the mini servos. Like I was saying, they did put a Savox 200 SW0231 servo, which I like and I use a lot, so that's great. The one thing they did do is they did cut the battery box, and that's because originally he had it as a truggy, and I'm not going to keep, well, I didn't get the cab and stuff to keep it that way, so it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and do some changes. I'm not using this body for this truck, but I'm actually thinking about using a Proline 4Runner body on it. I think that would look really cool on there. But I'm not using this one. This one's actually going to go on my daughter's rig. And so I'm going to put this away for now. And but anyway, I'm going to be getting that. So I'm going to go over the modifications done on this rig and see what other things that I can do to it. I'm assuming these must have been for lights. I found this really cool looking plug-in. I was trying to figure out what it was for, and maybe it was for lighting. I'm assuming, which have that kind of a plug around, which I think is really cool looking. But I may end up cutting it off and put a different plug that I use on here, just so I can incorporate this cool plug that plugs directly to where the battery goes. So anyway, the thing I am going to be putting with the battery box that was cut is I'm going to be putting the Bauhaus low center gravity battery box, and a few things to it. Haven't decided what body I'm going to go with yet. I'd love to go with the Bronco, but I don't know if that's right now something I want to do yet. I do like the 4Runner body. I'm thinking of maybe going with a 4Runner body painted royal blue and putting an interior in it. So anyway, this is pretty much it. Right now all I have is the stocky wheels and tires for now. Did not get the wheels and tires that came with this rig, so I'm going to be, like I said, doing some modifications on this. Alright, so we're going to change out the battery box because I just rather have it changed out and do a nicer lower center gravity battery tray here than what's here right now. Looks like I may have to scrounge me up some screws because the screws that were here to hold the battery box are no longer there. But it's okay. You know, guys, when you do buy other people's equipment, sometimes they'll do some changes to make it themselves, make it their own. And a lot of times people will get aggravated. And I don't get aggravated because I'll tell you, I'm all about making it mine. And the thing is with that is, unless you're buying a brand new rig, which I didn't, you should just understand, man, people have different flavors. They do different. I did buy a roll of this double Velcro stuff. There's no adhesive to it. It's just like a belt. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually going to be putting that on the new Bauhaus center gravity plate. Sorry, I'm out of camera view, guys. I was putting the battery holders in for now. And the way you get this in here is you gotta kind of like get the angle just right, and you gotta get those little prongs inside the chassis. And boop, there it is. And just gotta make sure you don't bend and mess up your cables. And then this should fall right down to the original holes. Yay! Looks like it started. I never over tighten or tighten up all my screw heads because you want to make sure everything's going to line up before you tighten down everything, because sometimes you need a little wiggle room. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from Traxxas RC Garage. I just want to do a little video today. I mean, I'll have little bits and pieces of some RC stuff in here, but right now I would just like to give thanks to my family, my beautiful wife, and I also want to give thanks to my viewers. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to keep the content to where the level that you guys want it. I like to grow a little bit bigger in what I do. You know, also getting better with the editing, doing much better stuff with RCs. But I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and watching the technical stuff. I know I can get boring, and I like to try to build a more YouTube personality, if you can actually do that. But there's a lot of guys out there I watch who I would say would be my online mentors. So anyway, I'm thankful for them. Thankful for their tips and tricks and all that stuff that they do. But most of all, I just want to thank you guys for watching.